Whoa!
Hey! We're gonna go over what we accomplished last week. So we are going to dive in. Before we do that, I'm going to distract you.
Who's that face?
I'm just thinking with my face.
Yeah, you look like you have great thoughts.
No, it looks good.
I think I don't like it. And that's a good
It's a step in the right direction. It needs a little balance. It needs a little.
Yep.
We're getting there.
All right, so little business strategy discussion before we get into product discussion. Let's talk concepts, okay? So here's a concept. We have to name the concept, tagline the concept, that whole side of things. So here's a concept. For those looking for bespoke materials, personal touches, and a tailored experience in their heirloom furniture, okay? That's what we're offering. Introducing the Wyrmwood S tier.
That's awful. It's right in theory, but it's too goofy for
So,
I think this.
yeah.
It's too meme-ish.
All right, other name options. Let's just roll with them. Okay.
I will say it is S tier though. Like
Yes!
it is S tier.
It is- no, it is.
But it is S tier.
But when it's like, oh, it's heirloom and bespoke, and you're going for the high, like,
Yeah, it's S tier.
No, it's
So what does the S actually stand
Superior.
for? Superlative, superior, sick.
All of those.
yeah.
If we don't want to do S tier, which I do, we could do Wyrmwood Masterworks, the Wyrmwood Legacy line, Wyrmwood Signature Series, sort of repurpose that vocabulary, because I do, Signature Series is very good, and Wyrmwood Custom Shop.
It's the most boring, but I think the custom shop makes the most sense. I know people are just gonna understand. They're gonna go, "Ooh, custom! I like that," and they're gonna hit it.
sexy.
It's not. It's not exciting, but
I think experience should be part of it. The Wyrmwood custom experience.
Wyrmwood Experience.
What? You don't like
Wyrmwood
experience?
Custom.
I think experience.
Wyrmwood Kooza Palooza.
We're trying to sell an experience. We're not trying to sell a product. We're trying to say this could be anything you want, right? So it's hard to call it one thing, right?
Well, we're gonna gotta call it something.
Yeah, I'm sticking to experience.
So far, I'm not doing. Ooh, the experience.
Experience.
Yes. Finally.
S tier. This is why we got away from nice things, because we're too dopey and.
All right, here we go. Wyrmwood, whatever this concept is, right? Where money is required and taste is optional.
That's way too true.
That works with experience.
Yeah. It's funny because it's true.
Your unlimited funding and our lack of judgment. Crafting dreams from timber and schemes.
Oh my.
No budget, no limits, and no fucks given. S tier.
That's awesome.
Can we build it? Yes, we can.
Yeah. It's tough to choose from those.
You're welcome. So anyway, I'm struggling. I'm obviously struggling.
clearly,
Leave us a comment, Matt. Actually, first of all, let's see what Matt thinks. Matt, CEO Matt.
it's too early in the morning. I have
Too early,
nothing going on up here. Sorry.
I'll email you some more.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
No.
Specifically, we're specifically here to start looking over the rogue, the thief, the upgraded prophecy table.
I wore my rogue outfit. Just want to let everyone know that.
That is
Yeah.
true.
I wore my rogue outfit today, especially for this occasion.
Okay. So this is the default Wenge. So we can see, first thing we do is we do have the new topper. Ian, why don't you talk about it just to refresh the viewer's memory?
Yeah, so the only main thing that we actually changed was the wood on the edge of the table. Instead of being Wenge and Wenge to match, we changed it to Paduk and Wenge. So given that the topper is layered up from several layers, that gives you just a nice contrasting stripe to kind of set the topper off from the rest of the table.
Actually, you forgot the maple.
So we switched the cross-banding layer here to maple, which is brighter than what we normally use. So yeah, the layer effect gives you, Wenge, stripe of maple framing your contrasting secondary wood to kind of get the topper popping.
I think it looks pretty sharp. Like, I actually think it's pretty S tier. Just to choose a word.
I think it gives the pop that we wanted.
Yep. No, I agree. I think it looks pretty good. It feels a little off balance. We've got this big bright pop around the top, and that's kind of it right now.
Yeah.
So looking at sort of a closed table, it could use a little something else.
Is anyone else just like not a big fan? Am I alone in this?
No, I'm actually kind of a fan. I'm not a wood. Well, so you have to compare like
Like I said, I'm conditionally a fan.
wood. Like if I look at this corner, if I'm looking at just my straight wenge versus the two-tone, I believe it's more striking. Is it to everybody's taste? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, I personally wouldn't want this. It's not
Sure.
to my taste, but I think it looks good, and I think people that like that high contrast pop color want something like this.
the other option would be if we wanted to tone down the red somehow. Maybe go from a Paduke to like, I don't know what else it would be. Something subtle.
Yeah, we could, although I think why we started down this road is because that striking color combination has been very popular in other products.
Is true.
Whether or not, like you said, it's to everyone's taste, it has been to a lot of people's taste.
Well, let's look at the other. Let's see. Let's continue the journey.
Let's talk about logos. So we went crazy at laser, and this is our standard boilerplate, whatever you want to call it, Wyrmwood Shield logo that's on all of our normal prophecies. It is ebony with a background of curly ash. So we put that in every single table. We wanted to make one that used Paduke Wenge and maple to see if we can like make it a little bit more custom for this table specifically. We got a bunch of different options, and we actually added a little bit that we are using in our DM screens, which is adding this extra border, which allows us to get 3 colors instead of 2, if we want to. And depending on which one we chose, we can pull a lot of red or not a lot of red down into the table.
It's hard.
And none of them jump out as better than what we've got by a lot.
Logo.
Feels just a little Christmassy.
A little bit. Yeah. Candy cane-ish.
Yeah. Ho ho ho. I think my issue is that I think they're all a bit heavy-handed. The weights of the lines are all heavy-handed.
We took a file we already had just to get the colors. We can always tweak the weights. Because I agree. We can't go too thin, because like veneer does have a limit.
That's true.
we can't just be like, let's do a 16th inch veneer frame unless we do
stringing,
solid stringing, which is
stringing. Another
the idea for
problem.
this table is kind of like the most affordable upgraded version. We're going to get crazier and crazier as we go. I don't think we should put all the craziness and most expensive stuff in this.
I would like to see a version still stick with ash, because I do like the yellowish.
Yeah.
Stick with ash, go with ebony, and then shrink it down slightly and put it on a thin, a little bit of red around it.
The more we start changing and like making everything in this Paduke Maple Wenge, it starts feeling more and more disconnected. I actually think it's like gonna look worse and worse the more we hone in on all the other details.
Or we have to see what the rest of it looks like to know how you cap it off just right.
Yeah, maybe we get like the table good, and then we decide what we're doing for the final inlay. Just push it a little.
Let's look at the armrests. Because the armrest also, when the top is off, the armrest also has to tie in with the logo.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
That's a feature that like pops out and is like, wow.
That's S tier.
Yeah. It's almost too nice.
So, in order to add some pop and some class to the armrest, we want to do an inlaid cross banding. We make a bunch of this, which is a Paduke core, because that's the color that we're going for. That's the color scheme, our accent. And then we just frame it with some black-white lines to make it really stand out a lot. So we make a bunch of this, and then we just add that right into the existing solid wood armrest. You immediately run to a couple choices, where here we always on our armrest have this this V groove here that runs across. I decided on this side to carve that out so that the lines actually follow the contour of the V groove, which I think looks pretty sharp. But it is an extra step. It's a thing you have to do. On this side I didn't, just to see what it would look like. It's kind of interesting contrast where you get a clean, clear, continuous banding,
Yeah.
and then a V running underneath or behind it.
Another option, just to throw it out there, is we could just completely on this series eliminate that V shadow groove, right? You could sand it flush and then do an inlay.
Could.
You're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
You're asking for trouble.
Why is that? Just wondering.
So you're asking for trouble because then you have a flush joint, and if there's any wood movement at all, you'll get a lip or separation.
Yeah.
And that
So
can cause issues.
That's put in purposefully because it can go like that, it can go like this, and it kind of hides all that when you give a little. If it's flush and smooth, as soon as it like moves a tiny bit, now you got like.
Yeah, you can crack the
catch.
finish. Yeah, can
Which is
be an issue.
I would be a little worried with this because the same thing. If it moves a little bit, this whole detail might
Yeah.
translate that out.
Could pop out.
Now,
The cross banding's great too.
crossband.
Yeah, it came
So
up pretty
the
fast.
fact that the Paduk grain is going this way, and while the armrest grain is going that way, it just really makes the open grain of the wood stick out.
So this is, in my opinion, very successful. In fact,
Yeah.
makes right.
It makes you want to do that.
It makes me want to change the strategy on the top somewhat because maybe
So hard, isn't it? Because it's all veneered.
not for him.
Well, if anything, wouldn't you want to bring it down? Because you guys are saying you wanted more orange. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think you need. I don't think you need more up here. Like you
So
already
what
have.
you're saying is maybe some
Yeah, and actually, I went and made
Whoa.
some heavier versions,
Oh boy.
thinking that we might want to do that. Now, I actually think that's a bit too much. That's too heavy for here. I think you'd probably, if we did it, want to go either with this one or something in the middle.
Little cups on the left.
Oh.
Something like this.
That's fun.
Something like that somewhere.
That could be cool.
That could help.
I think getting the
Lower
weight,
that down.
getting the weight
Getting the
placement
weights
is gonna be
exactly. Yeah,
tough.
that's kind of the whole game.
That might make the table look taller,
Yeah.
but
Like some lines.
I like.
that might look really nice.
That could be okay.
These are an assembled unit. The ends. That would be no problem to just nail it.
These
it's
guys.
making sure that these relate properly after it's installed.
Yeah. Yep.
And we also run into what do we do with the shield
What do you do with
problem?
this shield logo?
Carve around it. You know, so the termination of this banding matches the shape of the shield, but offset. And you could even come up short. You know,
Oh yeah.
where like it runs along, stops, runs in, matches, runs beyond.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is we should spritz the banding and then literally like tape on the band. Like we could actually work on this. Mock it up.
It wouldn't have to be functional though. We could just make it like look right.
Anyway, I was skeptical of the cross banding, I believe, in the design meeting, and I was wrong.
I think we were all skeptical of everything a little bit.
So I'm gonna say this was a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah,
S tier.
looks good.
That's not going away.
Come up with something else. I'll read the comments. If there's something else that catches, you know, we'll push. So we looked at logos, we looked at armrests.
And some RPS samples. So this we're pretty limited. It's also going to be a little difficult because on the final one we have to remember. I think we're talking about Paduk on the whole inside.
That's something we have to figure that out.
So the RPSs they basically have two parts. They got like the wooden part and the fabric insert part. So I picked out kind of the 4 fabrics that we have in stock that I think would look pretty nice with this. And then basically we have a Wenge field playing surface with maple banding and with Paduk banding.
This one's easy.
Oh.
This one's actually easy.
Yeah?
I think it's this with this. I think that's it.
Yeah, that does bring the light. It will be very bright on the inside if you have that.
Especially if this is all orange too.
Yeah, we kind of have a lot. This plays with like almost every other detail that's going
I'll
on
say
in the
this.
table.
One thing I always really like with any sort of opening piece of furniture is that it's like with the groundskeeper, where it looks one way and then you open it,
Yeah.
and it's a different experience.
This one's also kind of a surprise.
Oh.
In the Paduk, goes more towards this color over time. But I agree with you. That surprise, and I think both of these are like, oh wow.
You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? We'll take all the stuff off. We're going to take a photo. I think we can Photoshop this. Because really, unless we build a full table, we're not going to know what this, if this is Paduk in here, we're not going to know what that looks like.
So I would propose these guys stay Wenge, and we would just do the outline.
Guacamole?
Your inside seams would stay Wenge,
Inside
and it would only be a quarter.
I mean, we can do whatever we want. Something
Right,
like
the
that.
inside seam is Wenge. You're very smart.
We can
Is there anything? Oh, last thing to review.
handle.
Little handle. For the
That's cute.
and this doesn't have finish on it, but this is sort of what we're thinking of for that. I think that's nice.
Yeah, it's basically what we did for the class combo pens that we made.
So, next steps. Logos, not S tier.
I think we have a direction we want to go. Yep.
Yes. So, Jason, you'll do some more logo revisions. Ian, since you're the banding master, let's get some banding down on the. Let's bring
logos.
some red down. I would like to keep the topper with the Paduk frame. So logos, banding, and then Bobby, your team, Mr. Dimitri, will do the Photoshop for the upholstery colors and the RPSs.
Trims it up.
A wild Dimitri has appeared.
What do you think? This is the new prophecy stuff that we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you like the banding?
No.
What we would like to do is we would like to take some photos and give you some marching orders on different color combinations on those photos and Photoshop it up. Okay.
Yeah, and you can make something that you actually like.
So next Thursday, you're gonna have new logos.
Couple new shields.
You're gonna have color combos on the inside, the big fields and the upholstery options. And Ian, you will have
Some other shapes and sizes, trying to tie
try to
the
pull
down.
red down into the base of the table.
Yep.
So even when the topper is on, we'll get red down there.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see you in a week.
Don't be a loser. Move your body, groove to the beat. Gonna amuse ya. No time for a snoozer. Sugar, spice, and everything I.
So that's the other thing we do need to work on, and our lovely Wyrm Lyfe viewers potentially could help us as well. We love all those suggestions.
Yeah, they're all S tier.
Yeah. What is it called when you take Wyrmwood's excellent product line and make it, take it to 11?
Wow.
One sec.
I'm actually quite impressed.
Give it a spin. Give it a spin. Come on.